What? How did this work? Why didn't we know about this?
They announced the actual technology last year, but they didn't say that they'd done a deal with Mastercard to get it done.
Should they have? Is this legal?
Well, we thought that they probably should have.
And but seriously, though, has a law been broken here in not disclosing this?
No, probably not. It's another classic case of when you sign up for a Mastercard card, when you sign up for Google services, in page 24, paragraph 3, it'll say something like, you give us permission to use data for marketing purposes, and I think that's generally the phrase that Mastercard uses in its agreements for sure.
So Google's already in hot water with the president. We don't know how much teeth his threats could actually have, but how does this sort of pile on to what Google's already dealing with?
I think there's probably two separate issues. So there's the search issue and the bias issue, which seems more of a stretch. On the privacy side, it basically cuts to the core of what Google does. So the general pact we make with Google and Facebook is we get these great services, and in return they get to use our data. They don't always tell us specifically every time that they're using our data what it's for, and that's really the rub here, right? Where they're going to have to tell people more about what they're doing more often, and that's going to freak people out.
And haven't there been issues with other Google services like Gmail or Android where they're doing similar things, but users don't quite understand how they're using that data? And it is so curious why that ad for the trip to Costa Rica shows up when, somehow elsewhere, I've asked someone about Costa Rica.
so the Gmail example, that was many years ago, and that was probably the first sort of classic internet privacy scare in the US, and it's still happening. Probably 10 years ago, right? 10 years later, it's still happening. So obviously, it's so important for Google and these other companies that they're not going to change what they're doing here. They're probably just going to have to explain it a lot more.
How much did Google pay Mastercard for this data?
We know it was millions of dollars, and we don't know exactly how much. Probably over $10 million for sure.